Tasty. How are you this morning?
Not too bad now that we're sat in the sun and it's a bit warmer and yeah, it's just cold outside. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Busy. So, this event is called the Gurus. I've called it the Gurus of Grassroots. It's a gig that's everyone on this lineup has had some sort of involvement with Lancaster's music scene in an administrative capacity of some kind. So, happy to have you on because I understand you've been doing work with the Lancaster Jazz Festival and also this things like, is it the Lancaster Jazz Scene, like Bookends Jazz? I think you've got a freight train coming up. How did you find yourself doing this as a sort of, it's a hobby almost, I suppose, right?
It is.
Career, depending on
Yeah. I mean, doing it for the love of it, so which is always a good thing, I think. So yeah, it's coming up for 2 years now. Me and my friend and fellow musician Paula Williams, we set up Lancaster Jazz Scene, and the idea of that was to really try and enhance and promote what was happening with jazz in Lancaster, and try and connect everybody together a little bit. So we just really started with that, setting up simple things that you can do for free. So we set up a blog, socials.
Nice.
We also have a mailing list at lancasterjazzscene@gmail.com, and if people want to be involved in that, we send them a monthly gig guide and also keep them up to date with what we're doing.
Also, links in the description.
Okay, cool. So then following that, we started to put our own gigs on, took the plunge with that, and the Gregson were absolutely instrumental really in supporting us with that and helping us manage.
It is an amazing place that gives opportunities to anyone trying to start sort of a start-up workshop project or sort of venture. You could call it a business venture.
Yeah, definitely. And
we need venues to be able to operate out of course. I think this really is a gem.
It really is, because the facilities here are great, the community is brilliant, and also little bits of advice and helping us think about financial risk as well and stuff like that, because we're doing this ourselves, and supporting it, and it's all coming from us.
As a promoter, I often liken it to gambling. I feel like we're playing with money that's not yet guaranteed, but we're playing odds because it might, if we get it right, we're heroes and it brings us financial return. And otherwise, it's ruined because there's no really two ways. Especially with pre-ticket sales. When you've got much data to draw from, you just got an instinct, and you can't always divine the factors that are going to affect tonight.
Yeah. And what's great about the Gregsons, they're able to work with us and say, right, well, we can give you some support with that in order to get things off the ground. And that gives you a chance to see, well, is it going to work? And kind of minimise your risks as much as possible, while you're just seeing if you can make it happen. So I thought that it's just been invaluable to us. It's been working for us. And it's allowed us to put on gigs throughout the year. We're coming up to our 10th gig in our Gregson gig series, which happened in the Olive Bar upstairs here.
When is that?
So our next gig, and this kind of illustrates the variety that we've been able to put on. So our next gig is the 23rd of February, and that's the Jack Pierce Quintet, a really young, up-and-coming group of musicians coming over from Leeds. And they're on a tour at the moment, so that's really exciting. And then on the 23rd of March, we've got sort of opposite end of the scale in a way. We've got three jazz veterans of the UK scene who are nationally known musicians. That's Richard Isles, Les Chisnell, and Mike Walker. So they're going to be appearing here. It's an amazing chance to see that group of musicians coming together. So yeah, as I say, we've been able to bring some real variety here. And then what we've also done, apart from things we've been doing ourselves, because we've built a bit of an identity, it's allowed us to a bit of a brand, yeah. It's enabled us to help and support other people who are promoting and organising gigs. So the Jazz Bookends gigs that are happening here in this month in the Gregson, we haven't organised those, but we are supporting the organisers to say, well, look, we're going to help promote what you're doing. And again, just joining all the dots of the things that are happening with jazz music in Lancaster, and hoping that's going to make an effect and really bolster.
I'm not sure how you're supposed to learn how to do something like this apart from experience or working with others.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right.
Well, it's very important to breed an ecosystem. Like we're all players in a larger part.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. I mean, it's been wonderful to talk to you, Steve. Let's just go broader. Why jazz? What jazz? And what? Give me a range of jazz. I think I've got an umbrella term. I think I know what it is. You've probably got like. What can I expect from Flight? It's a jazz fusion.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been looking. I came to music late. I only started playing trumpet when I was 30 years old.
It's never too late.
Yeah, it really is. It really isn't. I know it's a cliche, but it isn't. And I just put the work in. Took every opportunity since then to play in all kinds of bands, all kinds of settings. I always loved jazz music, and that's what I wanted to do. So I played in big bands, jazz septets, free improvisation groups, festival bands. Which is where I saw you last, I think, was dressed as seaweed playing in a festival. And now Flight Risk is a whole other thing again. It's original music, written by some really talented members of the band, and it's quite complex music. I'm bringing in lots of different influences, one of which is jazz. So we have small horn section, me, trumpet, and Laura on tenor sax. And we're just bringing those riffs in, and some improvisation work as well. Which is just lending that music, something else, something different to add to that. So
come see Flight Risk on the 24th of January here at the Gregson. I think it is very important to be writing music that you find interesting, because otherwise it will become a soulless endeavour.
Yeah,
I think that's part of the beauty of what jazz is. It's always trying to push for boundaries or frontiers of what you can achieve within a musical context.
Yeah, and it's evolved. It's a music that's evolving all the time, and also means different things to different people.
Hey, when you say riffs, I'm from a bit of a metal background. It's all that sort. It's always praying to this idea of soul section. Okay, thank you very much, Steve. We've got gigs. If you want to say to the camera, just look at them directly. Any messages to any blooming musicians, promoters out there?
I think for me, obviously, if you can hook up with a venue that share your vision for what you're trying to achieve, and we'll work with you then and see that as a win-win on a long-term basis, then that's really, really useful. The other thing I'd say is never be afraid to approach musicians. Even if you think, I can't afford them, or they're too big for me to come and play at my thing. In my experience, musicians are always happy to chat to you, and
most musicians want to play.
They want to play. They do, and I've been surprised. But so I've had people say, "Well, nobody ever asked me to come and play," and you'd be surprised. And if nothing else, if you don't end up booking them or whatever, they tend to be interested in what you're doing. And at the end of the day, you've made a connection. And I think this is what we're trying to do all the time, is make connections. With Lancaster Jazz Scene, we also run a monthly jam session, which takes place at the Story. We've actually been doing that since 2017. And that just links in again with what we're doing. But it's really connecting musicians together. Whole bands have formed out of that, which I'm really proud of. And so, if nothing else, this is just all about making connections, and it's great to connect with you over the amazing stuff that you're doing. I'm really interested to see where you go with that as well.
Thank you. I'm humbled and honoured.
Yeah.
Take care, man.
Yeah,
peace.
Thanks, Jack. Yeah, all the best.
See you later. Okay, cool. My phone ran out of memory halfway through.
Oh no!